So these are the panelists that we have today, all right? And I'm going to ask Nigel to firstly give us his opinion on that question. What do we think AI's role is in cybersecurity? Take it over, Nigel.
Thanks, Rod. So basically, from my point of view, or my opinion, I would say it definitely is something that we would need to have. So in this case, it would be more like an enabler. It's just going to add to one of your tools that you have. So you may have already a firewall, but at some point you would want to have a smarter firewall. You will have an IDS and IPS. You would want something that has intelligence built in. Not only that, you would also want to have capabilities where you have some level of orchestration taking place. You may have some intelligent solution, like looking into your networks and then I'm trying to identify whether it's malicious or not, and then also actioning it, or maybe putting a recommendation across rather than actioning it, because sometimes making a decision could be a little tricky, because certain businesses may not want AI to make a decision, but it would always put a recommendation or saying something is, looks fishy or looks funny, and this is a possible recommendation and action to be taken. So I believe that as of today, AI is still in its infancy. I'd say maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, it is something that will definitely progress, and it is something that a lot of products will start, including into the products itself. So you would have, say, products that come with built-in intelligence, or rather a lot more products out there which would have built-in intelligence. Not only that, you would also have to look at cross-vendor orchestration. So you would have intelligence which, maybe a single platform or something like that, which would be able to orchestrate across all these. So yes, definitely some level of, definitely something that we expect to see in the future, I would say. And something that we definitely would need.
In my opinion, AI in cybersecurity is very important, because nowadays the cyber criminal, they are getting more and more sophisticated, and then they are getting more and more structured. I would say like they are getting more professional in a syndicated way, operate in a syndicate way. So they even use AI in order to penetrate, in order to conduct their criminal activities. So in order to respond, or in order to protect our infrastructure, we need to have some kind of AI tool, which means that AI will be fighting AI. That's more.
So the question which you posed, right, the role of artificial intelligence in cybersecurity, yes, definitely I see it has a significant role. As my esteemed colleagues like Nigel and Zabri, they pointed out, I tend to agree with them as well. When it comes to reducing the noise, like determining where cybersecurity resources should go to, AI can help with that. When it comes to making important decisions about cybersecurity, AI is important, but also I think that the human should not be left out of the loop. As in, like, when it comes to final decision making, the human always has to be there. The human is a very important element.
But again, the interesting poll, I was just thinking on, being an enabler of core engine. See, if you ask me, my first and spontaneous reaction would be, like you rightly said, the end game is to make this the core engine, right? The one that drives everything. And all of us security professionals either go home and sleep or find a new job because AI will take over complete cybersecurity domain. That said, why we think it's possibly not happening soon, because we classify the known knowns, unknown unknowns, known unknowns, unknown knowns. So I think this is something we know we don't know. The Stuxnet from the Terminator is still in our minds. We still don't know how much people rely on AI, what all can it bring when the machines start learning themselves. So there is an element of doubt maybe somewhere, because of which it's not, we are far from the end game. But for sure, it is an enabler right now, helping the good guys defend, against the cyber attackers, or the bad guys, as I love to call them.
Yes, Dan. All right. A lot of stuff that has been said, I wanted to say, has been said by most of my friends over here. But this is my personal opinion, and I think that at this stage, we need to remember that AI cannot be seen as a separate entity. in fact, it is somewhat pervasive in whatever that we're currently doing now. It doesn't replace all the fundamental security measures that we all know. In fact, the way I see it, it pretty much enhances it, amplifies it to a level where it does address some of the existing problems that we have now. But to me, what's more important now is to accept the fact that we don't really have a choice. As what was mentioned by our friend earlier, we need to understand that in the threat environment right now, we need to level the playing field. And because all of the cyber attackers are now also leveraging this technology, and if we don't adopt one way or one form of it or another, we may be exposed to it.